It's 43 Sale Yard Road, Otahuhu.
You can't miss them. They're the ones with all the containers.
7:22 at NewsTalk ZB. The celebration amongst the internet users and the internet service providers last night and today. The local loop is going to be unbundled. Unbelievable, but it's going to happen. It sets us up for faster and cheaper broadband. Finally, the government's agreed to a radical reform of telecommunications in New Zealand. But what's also dramatic, or what's dramatic, is not just the announcement itself, but the way it came out. It wasn't supposed to come out till the budget in a couple of weeks. There has been a major leak. With us first is David Cunliffe, Communications Minister.
Good morning.
And with us also on the line, the boss at Call Plus and Slingshot, one of the internet service providers, Annette Presley. Good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Minister, the unbundling, first of all, what's involved? What are you going to do to make what are you going to make Telecom do?
Well, let me say that there's not just one element to this. There's no single silver bullet. This is, I hope, a pretty well-balanced package that covers off on a number of issues: unbundling the loop, unconstrained bitstream access, naked DSL, accounting separation, and some measures to ensure that we get build-out of alternative technologies as well off the loop, hopefully more on wireless, more mobile, and more satellite in due course. So there's a whole package here.
So what's the guts of it, though? I mean, what are you making Telecom do?
Well, essentially, the way unbundling works is that other companies will have the right, subject to fair pricing rules, to install their own machinery in telecoms exchanges or cabinets, which means they can then retail through their own lines rather than essentially having to rent space on telecoms lines. That gives them more ability to create new products and more control over their own pricing structure.
Do they use Telecom's copper wires?
Well, it depends where they plug in. They may use the telecom fibre backhaul in their own copper wires. They may go to their own wireless. It can be a number of means.
But either way, you are significantly reducing what many have perceived to be the continuing monopoly of Telecom.
Yes, I think that's a fair comment.
Telecom are taking a very dim view of it, of course. Their share price took a mauling, perhaps $700 to $800 million worth of mauling yesterday.
That's correct. That I understand that probably more in the order of $13 to $15 million worth changed hands yesterday. That number is calculated if you gross that ratio up across the whole market cap. So it's not that $800 million has changed hands.
And no, wiped off their value.
Only if you take it across the whole market cap and you assume that the share price is going to stay where it is today. I mean, it's not for me to say what I think the share price should be, but I just draw out that there was only a 15 million traded yesterday.
Annette Presley, your reaction?
We are celebrating it today to finally have a situation where now we were the only country in the world that hadn't unbundled the local loop. So David's taken a bold move, and we're celebrating. Our hope